The Black Sabbath lead singer Ozzy Osbourne has died at the age of 76. His family have announced this evening. I'm going to read and show you the statement one more time from his family. And it says this.
Today, we're taking a moment to really unpack the life of Ozzy Osbourne. Just a remarkable, often chaotic, but, utterly iconic life.
Absolutely.
The news, as I'm sure many of you know by now, broke this Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. He passed away. He was 76.
Yeah. Such sad news.
So our mission today really is to go beyond just the headlines. We're sifting through news reports, bits from his autobiography, other sources, basically trying to give you a shortcut to understanding the legacy of this, truly singular figure in music and pop culture.
Definitely.
Expect some surprising facts, I think, and a deep dive that gets beneath that famous Prince of Darkness persona.
And I think this deep dive, it's more than just looking back, right? We're exploring how one man who actually came from pretty humble beginnings totally redefined rock music.
Yeah.
How he navigated these intense personal struggles and then incredibly became this groundbreaking reality TV star.
Right.
So it's really an invitation for you listening to think about the huge range of his impact and how he just kept reinventing himself.
The family's statement really hit hard. It said, it is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning.
So heartbreaking.
He was with his family and surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family privacy at this time. And no immediate details on the cause of death were given out.
Mm-hmm.
What makes this feel particularly poignant, I think, is that his passing came just weeks after this really significant performance with Black Sabbath back in his hometown, Birmingham.
Exactly. And that performance, they called it Back to the Beginning. It wasn't just any show. It was Black Sabbath's first time on stage together in, 2 decades?
20 years. Incredible.
Yeah. And it was actually billed right there on the band's official website as Osbourne's final bow.
Wow.
The weight of that phrase now, knowing he passed so soon after, it's just immense for the fans. It really felt like this momentous full circle thing.
You really feel that way, yeah, especially knowing it was framed as his final show. And speaking of significant things, his public persona, right?
Mm-hmm.
For decades, that image.
Oh, yeah.
The hell-raising, the outrageous antics, it was as iconic as his music.
Totally.
We're talking about things like, famously biting the head off a bat. That was Des Moines, Iowa, January 20th, 1982.
He later said he thought it was rubber, right?
He did claim that later, yeah. And of course, the infamous throwing raw meat into the crowd. He definitely cultivated a very specific kind of image.
And that image, it created this really fascinating split, didn't it?
How so?
Well, on one hand, he was completely respected by the rock world for his music, his contribution. But at the same time, he was just reviled by the religious right.
Right. They thought he was a devil worshiper.
Yeah, totally. Because of the stage stuff, the band's whole look, that sound they had, it really shows how he became this kind of cultural lightning rod.
So this persona, this Prince of Darkness, how much of that do you think was genuine Ozzy and how much was deliberately created? And how did people, especially the ones who hated him, really react beyond just, the outrage?
That's a great question. Because it is that duality that defined him. It's interesting, too, because everyone called him the godfather of heavy metal, but he actually preferred the Prince of Darkness.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he even used it on his Twitter handle. And his take on heavy metal itself was pretty sharp. He said it, quote, has no musical connotations. He saw the 70s as bluesy, the 80s as bubblegum frosted hair, and the 90s as grungy.
Huh. Different eras.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And his outrageousness. Yeah, it shocked some people at first, but for others, it became this weirdly authentic kind of rebellion. He wasn't just playing a role. He was sort of living this chaotic truth that really connected with fans who maybe felt misunderstood or boxed in. So that extreme persona, it wasn't just a gimmick. It was like a mirror reflecting this kind of hidden wildness a lot of people felt inside.
It makes you wonder how someone with such a massive public image actually started out. Let's go back to his origins. John Ozzy Osbourne, born December 3rd, 1948, Birmingham, England, son of a toolmaker and a factory worker.
Pretty working class roots.
Very much so. His early life was, a huge contrast to the rock star he became. Left school at 15, did various jobs, construction laborer, even worked in a slaughterhouse.
Wow.
And here's a wild detail from his autobiography, I Am Ozzy, from 2009. He tried burglary. It went badly. landed him 6 weeks in prison because his own dad refused to pay the fine.
No way. His dad wouldn't bail him out.
He refused to pay the fine. Can you imagine a future rock god doing 6 weeks for a botched burglary?
It really makes you stop and think about the journey, doesn't it? From that, his own father not paying a small fine to, headlining stadiums worldwide.
Yeah.
It says a lot about maybe the grit, the defiance that showed up later in his image. And for all that later fame, what's really striking is his musical inspiration. He credited the Beatles.
The Beatles.
Yep.
Specifically, their 1963 hit, She Loves You. He said that song made him decide to become a musician.
That's amazing. A classic case of one song changing everything. And from that spark, Black Sabbath formed in '67, originally called Rare Breed.
Right?
Then bassist Geezer Butler asked Ozzy, Tony Iommi on guitar, Bill Ward on drums, to join him. And that was the start of something huge.
And Butler's reason for the name, Black Sabbath, is pretty revealing, connects right back to their sound. He told Rolling Stone basically, if people paid money to feel scared at the movies, then the same must be true of concerts.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah, it really shows their early vision. Their music was loud, gloomy, paired with this distinct satanic aura. And a big part of that was using the tritone. That's what made them instantly popular.
Okay, for those of us, maybe less up on music theory, what exactly is the tritone? Why was it so effective for them?
Right, so the tritone is this really unsettling musical interval. It sounds dissonant, jarring, unresolved. Historically, it was sometimes called the devil in music.
Oh, yeah, it goes way back to the Middle Ages, associated with dread, evil. For Sabbath, it wasn't just a cool sound effect. It was a deliberate choice. It created this immediate, almost physical sense of unease, of mystery. It just pulled you into their dark world. Perfect sonic match for the name Black Sabbath.
That makes total sense. And the speed they worked at early on was incredible. Their first album, self-titled, recorded in just 2 days in 1969.
2 days.
Ozzy famously said, it can't have taken any longer than 12 hours in total. That's how albums should be made, in my opinion.
That raw, fast production definitely added to their authenticity, the intensity of the sound, and their success came fast. The 1970 album, Paranoid, hit #1 in the UK.
Huge album. Iron Man, War Pigs, the title track.
All classics. And that #1 spot in the UK, they didn't actually repeat that until 2013 with the album 13. So it really shows how massive that early breakthrough was.
Okay, so fast forward to 1979.
Yeah.
After 8 albums, Ozzy leaves Black Sabbath. Was asked to leave, largely due to struggles with alcohol and drugs.
A really tough period for him, yeah.
But it wasn't the end. Not by a long shot. It really kicked off his huge solo career.
Yeah.
He put out, 11 more albums before eventually getting back with Sabbath in '97.
His substance abuse, though, it was a massive force in his life. So much so that it was cited as the reason for his divorce from his first wife, Thelma Mayfair. He himself looked back on it in that 2011 documentary, God Bless Ozzy Osbourne. He said, quote, "Looking back, I should have died 1,000 times." That really tells you how bad things got.
And then there's his relationship with his second wife, Sharon, who was kind of famously the daughter of his former manager, Don Arden.
Right. A complicated situation from the start.
The relationship started in '79. They got married in '82. But it led to this major legal fight with Arden over Ozzy's contract.
Yeah, a really bitter dispute. Arden actually won $1 million settlement.
Which then led to Sharon being estranged from her father for nearly 20 years. Just huge family drama, playing out alongside his career.
But that drama, weirdly enough, kind of set the stage for this surprising second act in his career. The Osbournes, the reality TV show, ran from 2002 to 2005.
Ah, yes. Hard to forget that.
And it wasn't just some quirky side project. It was massive. Won a Primetime Emmy in 2002. It launched Sharon's career, Kelly's career. It was truly revolutionary at the time.
It really pulled back the curtain, didn't it?
Totally. In a way people hadn't seen before with celebrities. You could argue the Osbournes kind of paved the way for the whole reality TV landscape we see now, especially those family-focused shows. The Kardashians later perfected.
Right.
It showed that even the chaos inside a famous family could be totally captivating TV, and it really humanized Ozzy for a whole new audience, people who maybe only knew the Prince of Darkness image.
His legacy, it's really cemented in both the music and just his whole spirit. And backed up by some serious awards, multiple Grammys.
Yeah.
He won solo in '93 for I Don't Want to Change the World, and then 2 more just recently in 2023. For Best Rock Album and Performance.
Incredible longevity.
And of course, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions. First with Black Sabbath back in 2006, and then again, solo, just last year in 2024.
And the tributes from his Sabbath bandmates after he passed, they're incredibly moving. They really speak volumes about his impact beyond just the music. Geezer Butler posted, "Goodbye, dear friend. Thanks for all those years. We had some great fun." And he added, "4 kids from Aston, who'd have thought? So glad we got to do it one last time back in Aston."
Wow. Full circle again.
Yeah. And Tony Iommi shared the heartbreaking news. Say he can't really find the words. There won't ever be another like him. Geezer, Bill, and myself have lost our brother.
Lost our brother. That's powerful.
And Bill Ward's tribute was maybe the most moving. "Where will I find you now? And the memories, our unspoken embraces, our missed phone calls. No, you're forever in my heart."
Oh, man.
Reading those, you just get this profound sense of the bond they shared, beyond the stage, beyond the studio.
Those words really hit home. And it's tough because in his later years, he faced such significant health struggles. Early 2019, he had to cancel shows because of pneumonia.
Right.
And then he had a really bad fall at home in LA.
Yeah.
Led to multiple surgeries. One, he said himself, went wrong and left him crippled.
Just awful luck, one thing after another.
And then, on top of all that, in January 2020, he revealed he'd been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
Yet what really stands out, despite all these incredibly tough health issues, was his determination. He still wanted to perform.
He really did.
He made these intermittent appearances when he could, like at the closing ceremony of the 2022 Commonwealth Games back in Birmingham again, showed that fire was absolutely still there.
He had such a powerful need, it seemed, to connect with his fans one last time. There was that interview in Rolling Stone in 2023 where he said something so personal.
I remember that one.
He said, "If I can't continue doing shows on a regular basis, I just want to be well enough to do one show where I can say, 'Hi guys, thanks so much for my life.' That's what I'm working towards. And if I drop down dead at the end of it, I'll die a happy man."
Just yeah. Incredible.
And this was after he'd already announced earlier in 2023 that his touring career was basically over. He couldn't physically do it anymore. He called it a farewell to the best relationship of my life. Talking about his relationship with the audience.
What an incredibly powerful way to put it. Shows how much that connection meant to him.
What an unbelievable journey he had from those really humble roots in Birmingham, that mischievous youth, to becoming this global rock phenomenon, a cultural icon, all while battling these huge personal demons. It's just a story of raw talent, incredible willpower, and so many unexpected twists.
It really is, and I think it raises this important question for all of us, really. When we look at figures like Ozzy Osbourne, whose lives had both extraordinary creativity and profound struggle, what does it actually mean to leave a lasting impact?
That's a good question.
How do we sort of reconcile the different sides? The public Prince of Darkness versus the private person, the struggles versus the triumphs, that quiet determination we saw at the end. So maybe something for you, the listener, to think about. What parts of his really complex, multifaceted story resonate the most powerfully with you?